Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, cabbage and cucumbers, horses and, seahorses? Well, whatever you are, welcome to a true review of League of Legends. Now, unless you live under a rock, you've probably heard of League of Legends at least once. I mean, League of Legends is massive. I mean, the 2018 Worlds had more viewers than the Super Bowl of 2018 by almost double. League of Legends having 200 million viewers and the Super Bowl having 103 million viewers. League of Legends shows its face almost everywhere. You go to a Comic-Con, boom, League of Legends cosplays. You go to TwitchCon, boom, League of Legends cosplays. League of Legends is legitimately everywhere. I mean everywhere. But enough with that, let's get right into the meat and potatoes of this review. I'm going to be structuring this video by going over individual aspects of the game, starting with this one, the universe. Now, anyone can just dive into a League game and not need to know the lore at all. Even if you know nothing about the lore, you can still play and have a blast. But to the true fans, they know you need to do more than just play the game. You need to understand it. The League of Legends universe is quite an expansive one. Giving backstories to all 145 champions is a feat in and of itself. And then making those stories intertwine and even writing more side stories about that is just insane to me. Like, who knew that Ornn is Volibear's brother and Anivia is their sister? Like, how? How are these characters related? But not only has Riot made that lore, they also made comics out of the few characters that actually are pretty good. Add in making lore for all the regions in Runeterra and even ones outside of it, such as the Void, and you get one hell of a story. League's lore is probably my favorite lore, rivaled only by Destiny's super confusing and long lore. The only thing I wish I could see more of is if it was integrated into the gameplay a little more. I know there are voice lines and special interactions already, but it'd be cool if there was maybe just a little more of that. All in all, I would give League a whopping 9.5 out of 10 in the universe department. Next up, we have game graphics and skins. Now, League's graphics are pretty good for a MOBA, but just remember that this used to look like this. Looking at that improvement is amazing. The improvement of character design is just jaw-dropping. Like, look at Ornn, or Mordekaiser, or even Championship Zed. They're just beautiful. Most of the skins in League are gorgeous and sought after. Well, most are. But what the hell is this, Riot? Literally, what is this? Or this? I don't know. But besides a few exceptions, most of the skins in this game are beautiful. Just the pictures alone are enough to impress people. While this name may not be what they look like in game, the champion picture models are still beautiful. And most of that beauty carries over. Like, just look at Godstaff, Jax, or Godfist Lee Sin. Just like the pictures, there are a few that just don't want to comply. I'm looking at you, Blood Moon Aatrox. We got promised this, but got this. The only thing that sucks about graphics in League is that if you want to look good, you gotta pay. And I understand that skins cost money in almost all games, but $30 for Elementalist Lux is a bit much. I mean, the skin's cool and all, but it's not $30 cool. After taking all this into consideration, I would give League a whopping 8 out of 10. Coming in for our third section is gameplay. League of Legends is a MOBA with 3 lanes and a jungle in between each lane. One goes top, one goes mid, 2 go bot, and 1 goes jungle. Everyone on your team tries to win their lane by killing the other opponent and destroying turrets to eventually reach the enemy nexus. Now, this is a pretty solid way to play, but only if it was that simple. Factor in which champions go where and what champions are in the meta and what items to buy for which champion, and it can get pretty confusing. I can't imagine trying to teach this to someone who's never played the game before. There's a tutorial, but it just kind of throws you in there and doesn't really explain the game. It'll take probably a good 15 to 20 levels before you stop seeing people picking random champions and writing them down with wrong lanes and wrong runes. And even then, people won't buy the right items. I remember when I first started playing League and I thought all items had to be activated to be used. So I would just play Garen, buy a BF sword, and then run into the enemy team, spamming 1, hoping it would work. I also remember getting confused on how to buy boots, because I remember some dude told me that I had to buy 2, 1 for each foot. Yeah, I was a little slow back then. But items and team comps are so hard to explain and teach that the only real way to learn them is through just playing hundreds of games and leveling up. And that can kind of suck for someone who's already knows how to play the game and is just trying to level up a Smurf and get stuck with a Xerath top and a Nunu mid lane. Also, something that sucks is that all it takes is one person to ruin the game for everyone else. There have been countless times where I've been playing in my promos and I've had someone pick Nunu or Ivern top. And then you can't do anything about it. Then you get into the game and they AFK at 5 minutes. I don't understand why when that happens and you lose LP. I think that if someone DCs or AFKs, no matter how far into the game, you shouldn't lose any LP, and that person who DC'd should lose double their LP. But that's bound to happen with all team games, I suppose. Granted, most of the time, you get a team that goes where they're supposed to go and does what they're supposed to do. But it's the games that you don't that ruins it. Losing in League sucks more than losing in almost any other game, in my opinion. And I'm talking about those close matches where you went 12, 7, and 9 in. I'm talking about those games where you went 0-12 and can't even walk into your own jungle because the enemy support can just one-shot you.
I think she's a what? Who the fuck is that guy? Where did I go? I was alive 1 second ago, dude. Where did I go?
There's losses like these that destroy your character and turn you into a flaming, spam pinging League player. And it's even worse when you start to lose a bunch of games in a row. I can't tell you how many times I've deleted a league because I've lost 9 out of 10 games in a row. I mean, look at my match history now. It's terrible. But no matter how many matches I lose, I always come back. That's what makes League. If you're ahead and winning, it's the best time of your life. But if you're behind and getting one shot, it's the worst. The longing to be the person one-shotting and not the person being one-shot is what brings players back. When you get ahead, as almost any champion, and start playing with, and you're playing with your friends, it's probably some of the most fun I've ever had. But when you get behind, that's when everything goes downhill. Taking all this into account, I'd give League's gameplay a 6 out of 10. Now it's time for the one thing League is known for, the community. Oh boy. Woo. Whew. The toxicity in League is one of the things that make it so good. Now, one could say, when I was a younger League player, that I had a bit of some anger issues, considering I had both my accounts banned and then both of them chat restricted about 2 days after getting them back. But the way I see it, I was just educating people on what they were and how to get better. Trash talk is all of what makes League fun, but Big Bad Riot can't stand the slightest bit of toxicity. If you int down mid, then type lol oops in chat, you have a lower chance of getting banned than if you called someone an insecure little dog. But that doesn't stop people from flaming. I've seen plenty of times when arguments get heated in League and the person types 4 letters then just pings ER. Or they just say F space uck off. And since Riot has some idiotic bot just monitoring the chat and looking for preset words that they've already set in, they don't see this. I think flaming is a necessity for any massive multiplayer game. When you get in game, no one is safe from the flame. Your support moves the wrong way, boom, call him an inbred. You die top lane while your jungler's peacefully farming his Krug's bot side, boom, spam ping him and tell him it's his fault. Now, if you actually get offended by anything anyone says to you in League, you should not be playing. Half the time people flame me, I just laugh and start to meme them by pretending to ignore them or asking if a minion is talking to me. The only thing I don't like is when Smurfs start to flame their team. It's like if you took The Rock and put him in a cage with 9 infant babies. Granted, he's going to boot 5 of them out the cage, but he's not going to be able to control the other 4. But besides that, I don't think I would change anything in the League community at all. I would give the League community a 9 out of 10. All in all, League is a decent game. It's not the most balanced, and it's not the most fun, but it's still a pretty decent game. After adding all these scores up, I would give League a final score of 8 out of 10. Well, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.